January is one of the best times to be a musician
Squirrel!
because we get to look forward to NAMM, where the world showcases the newest and coolest musical gadgets, and I can maybe forget about negative 20-degree temperatures. I'm naming this year the Attack of the Clones, because a lot of the keyboards I've seen look suspiciously like some other keyboards on the market. Some of them are nearly exact clones, and red-colored wood sure seems to be popular all of a sudden. What's up with that? But perhaps this is a good thing, because now us consumers will have choices.
A bunch of hieroglyphics. White blinking lights.
If you are a gigging musician, then this is one of the best stage keyboards out there, and it's likely something that you're going to want to try out. While there are a number of other keyboards that offer some similar specs, the Stage has become a keyboard that ranks high on the wish list of a number of musicians for some key reasons. Number 1, the sounds are top-notch. The first time I ever heard a Nord was at a restaurant, and my first thought was, wow, that keyboard sounds fantastic. In a band mix, these keyboards really shine, and they sound authentic to whatever instruments they are emulating. Number 2, the weighted and waterfall keybeds are top-notch. Before I bought my Nord Grand, I thought Nords were overpriced luxury items with gimmicky features. I was right. Thus, I bought one. Number 3, the controls are set up specifically for quick, no-nonsense changes. Lots of easy-to-figure-out controls with no menu diving set Nord apart from some other manufacturers. So even though these other boards offer some of these features, they don't quite match the whole package that is the Nord Stage series. But inspired by the smell of real wood sides, Roland has decided to take on Nord with their new V Stage. And both of these boards are very similar. Let's start the comparison with price and weight, because if Roland wants to wrestle the crown from Nord, they definitely came to play. The 88 key model is $1,700 less, and the 76 key model is $1,300 less. That's a pretty significant difference. Of the first differences to jump out are the screens. The Roland has a much larger color screen. In contrast, the Nord has 2 separate screens, with the second screen dedicated for synth programming. From further away though, both boards look pretty similar. They each have dedicated organ, piano, EP, and synth sections, although the Nord combines the piano and EP sections into one. I would say that the controls for the organ sections are pretty comparable. The separate Roland EP section provides a lot more controls for the electronic pianos compared to the combined piano EP section on the Nord. But the piano section on the Roland is pretty sparse. Note that the menu system allows for full control of vPiano options. You just don't have as many knob per function controls as the Nord provides. What is interesting is that the Stage 4 synth section offers far more control compared to the Roland. This is a bit surprising since Roland are known for their synth sounds, and the dedicated knobs for synths on the V Stage are pretty sparse. Also of note is that each of these sections represents one layer on the V Stage, except for the synth section, which has 2 layers. Thus you can have a total of 5 layers. The Stage 4, however, has a total of 7 layers with 2 piano, 2 organ, and 3 synth layers. Now we are starting to see why the Stage 4 is in a higher price bracket. Finally, rounding out the control section on each board is the effects. And again, the Nord has a lot more to offer here, with easily twice the number of buttons and knobs to dial in the effect you want. Both boards have different zones that you can turn on and off. One nice thing about the new V Stage is that each section fully lights up when you turn it on, and pretty much all of the knobs have LED indicators. For the V Stage, Roland again decides to leave out the option to be able to have a dedicated music stand. This is really perplexing, because there are plenty of classical and jazz pianists who would want that feature. Nord gets this, and the Stage 4 has 2 options to display your sheet music. In the connectivity department, the V Stage is the clear winner, boasting balanced XLR outs, 1/4 inch outs, and 1/4 inch sub-outs as well. It also has 2 USB-A device inputs, 2 1/4 inch line inputs, and an XLR mic input, which means that if you are a solo player or play in a small band, you can run your own microphone and a couple of groove boxes right at your keyboard instead of running a bunch of longer cables to a soundboard. That's actually a really nice feature. The biggest downside is that there really isn't a whole lot of space to put anything else on top of the keyboard. 2 areas where I think the Nord pulls ahead are the sounds and the keybed, arguably 2 of the most important features on a stage keyboard. Now there are musicians who like the Roland keybeds, but for me the RD2000 was just too sluggish and there is a bit of sponginess to it. Both the Stage 3 and 4 keybeds are crisper, and I felt that my playing was more dynamic overall. Roland has enhanced both their keybeds for the V Stage, but I have not heard a lot of talk in any of the videos I've watched on this yet. I hope to have a chance to try one when they come out. But really, if you're going to spend this much money on a keyboard, I recommend finding one to try before you buy. For the V Stage, Roland has also made improvements on the sound engines, boasting their V Piano and Supernatural E Piano engines. I like the V Piano engine, but to me, it doesn't sound as good as the Nord pianos. Piano modeling has come a long way, but frankly, sound designers have been able to pull off a lot of tricks with samples as well. And I still think samples sound better to my ear in 2025, although your taste might be different. E-pianos and organs, though, I think most people would not be able to tell the difference, especially because they are a purer tone and much easier to model. Just listening to sound samples of both machines, I think they both sound fantastic, and really individual taste is going to pick the winner here. Roland shines with synthesis, and I think sound-wise, the V Stage wins, especially because you can purchase expansion packs. Plus, the Zencore stuff sounds really good as well. One thing to note is that although Nord keyboards cost a lot, they also have a number of instrument banks that you can get from their website for free, which is a nice feature. The V Stage is probably going to be a big hit for Roland. It appears to check all the boxes at a considerable cost savings over the Nord, and comes with some impressive I/O for a Stage keyboard. Although the Nord clearly has the upper hand in terms of controls and number of layers for sound. Both of these boards look really good, and each one has its strengths. This would be a tough choice if I had to choose between them. I've played a Stage 4, and it is definitely a top-notch keyboard, and I would definitely need to play the V Stage before making that decision to see how much Roland has improved their keybeds and piano and e-piano sounds. Let me know your thoughts. Which one do you think is right for you? That's it for today. Hit that like and subscribe and the bell. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the other side of the mountain.